Whenever a major corporation or government agency announces a data breach, the immediate reaction is panic. We imagine a brilliant rogue programmer in a dark room, rapidly typing code until a heavy digital lock finally shatters. Look closely at the forensic reports from these incidents, and that image falls apart. The attackers didn't need to force their way inside. The organization simply left the front door wide open. Every software system on the planet contains flaws, known as vulnerabilities. This is a completely normal byproduct of writing code. There is no bank, hospital, or tech giant globally that operates without them. The actual crisis begins when a vulnerability is discovered, publicly announced, and a security patch is provided by the manufacturer, but the organization ignores it entirely, sometimes leaving the flaw exposed for months. An attacker does not require a genius intellect to exploit this. They only need 3 basic ingredients: a known flaw, sufficient time, and a predictable level of internal negligence from the target. Suffering a devastating breach under these exact conditions is never a failure of technology. It is a failure of timely decision-making. Here is the exact sequence of events that precedes almost every major incident. It usually starts with a frustrated, lower-level IT or cybersecurity employee sending an urgent alert. A critical vulnerability is open on the network, and it must be patched immediately. Management receives the alert and engages in dachima, a willful institutional ignorance. They claim the department is tied up with more important projects, or the operations team outright refuses to briefly pause the system to apply the update. They brush it off for later. Time passes. The system remains unpatched. Inevitably, the neglected flaw is found an automated scan, and what was once a routine technical warning mutates into a full-scale security incident. Emergency meetings are called. The very managers who delayed the patch scramble to find a scapegoat, often pointing the finger at the lowest-level technician to cover up their own administrative inaction. The technology worked perfectly by identifying the flaw. The resulting breach is an entirely administrative problem. This negligence happens everywhere, but it gets severely amplified in local business environments. Take the Yemeni corporate landscape, where IT departments face 5 daily hurdles. Hurdle 1. Organizations heavily rely on outdated systems and legacy software that manufacturers stopped supporting years ago. Hurdle 2. The Superman syndrome. A single, overworked employee is tasked with managing the servers, fixing the network, and handling all cybersecurity simultaneously. Hurdle 3. Security is viewed as an optional luxury, resulting in cybersecurity budgets that are either severely inadequate or entirely non-existent. Hurdle 4. Frequent infrastructure outages. Rolling blackouts and unstable internet connections constantly interrupt and delay critical system updates. Hurdle 5. A complete absence of formal vulnerability management policies. There is no written rulebook dictating who does what when a threat appears. When you combine failing infrastructure, zero budget, and zero policy, no single IT worker can stop a breach. Without a structural framework, disaster is mathematically inevitable. There is an administrative antidote to this institutional rot. It is a framework known as cybersecurity GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. A GRC framework does not involve manually patching code. Its entirely different function is to enforce institutional accountability. It takes a technical alert out of the IT basement and forces an executive decision. This chart shows how GRC demands answers to hard, specific questions. How many critical flaws are currently open? How many days have they been exposed? Who, by name, is responsible for fixing them? And what is the financial impact if they fail? Without strict accountability, organizations buy endless security tools, firewalls, antivirus software. With zero policy enforcing maintenance, you're buying expensive decorations. A secure organization does not have 0 vulnerabilities. A secure organization knows exactly how to prioritize its vulnerabilities, who owns them, and exactly what will happen if they delay. Cyber disasters rarely start with a genius hacker breaking down the door. They start with an overconfident manager sitting inside, saying, "We are perfectly safe. We'll look at that alert tomorrow."